Okay, shalom, shalom to the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. We're gonna get straight into it. It says, I feel him on this. Be his woman, not one of his homeboys. This is Finesse2times. Say he broke up with Erica Banks because the way she talked to him wasn't feminine enough, calling him gang and etc. Right, and this how it relates to the Bible, and the reason why I chose to make lesson on this is it's the spirit that's going out there, right? So men and women are different, right? And it speaks in the Bible, it speaks about how the woman was created for the man, even though the woman today don't see it that way. They see it as, they want to be equal. Really, it goes farther than that. They want to be over man. And the Lord prophesied, the Lord told us that that would happen, that a woman will overpass, roughly paraphrasing, a man. And we'll see if we could get that one too, right? But the spirit is still in Jake, we still want our woman to be woman. I had got pissed off about a week ago because the Black Panther was coming out, the new Black Panther coming out in November, right? And they made, T'Challa, I believe that's his name. He died, so everybody was waiting to see, okay, who was the new Black Panther gonna be? Because really, the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, that's really based off the Bible. It's based off the Israelites. The Wakanda people really is just a play off the Israelite people in the kingdom and everything like that, right? And then with the new one that's coming out, I believe, I haven't seen it yet, of course, it ain't out yet, but I believe it's kind of going into the Northern Kingdom versus the Southern Kingdom, right? So you got the Southern Kingdom on Judah, Levi, Benjamin, right? And then the lost 10 tribes, Levi scattered amongst all the tribes, the Northern Kingdom, right? And then you got a guy called, I think his name is Nahar, something like that, and he's the leader in this new Black Panther movie that's coming up. But they all, they have that lighter skin. They look like, the 10 tribes, the lost 10 tribes, the Spanish tribe, the Native and Latino tribes, right? And they even go back to one of their gods, like the feathered serpent or something they say, which we did plenty of videos breaking down how that was a portrayal of Yahweh Shai coming over here, to feed his other sheep. Like he said, he has other sheep not of this fold, coming over here where the 10 lost tribes was at to, give them the truth too. So prophecy would be fulfilled that the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom will be in slavery at the end together in the same place. That's Jeremiah 50. But back to it, right? So pretty much they made his sister the next Black Panther. Everybody's saying that it's his sister or it's either his wife, but people are pointing that it's his sister. So I was pissed off about that. Like, they couldn't choose no other man on the planet. They couldn't bring back Michael B. Jordan. They couldn't just have another man, and they couldn't show that he had a son and bring up that man to be the Black Panther. It had to be his sister. And I posted and I was pissed. I was like, man, look, we want our woman to be woman. And that's the spirit that you see clearly that's going out there. Even just with Israelites that ain't living as Israelites, but are just out there in the world. Even that spirit is still in them. So Finesse2times, this is just an example. He broke up with his girl because he said, look, she wasn't feminine enough. Calling him gangs, pretty much acting like a man. But he don't want a man. He want a woman to be feminine. So what is a feminine woman? But even better yet, what is a virtuous woman? Because that's what we really desire to have. It's virtuous woman. And these women are going to have a very, 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 very hard fall, from that pedestal that they sitting on when all hell breaks loose, man, and the grid goes down. Let's just say that. Shit hits the fan. They going to have a very hard reality check. Now, this is Proverbs 31, so we just going to break it down, right? Verse 1, it says, the word of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him, right? It says, what my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not thy strength into a woman. So look, man, there was righteous women that knew these things. It says, give not thy strength to a woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings, right? but you're not supposed to. So what does it mean? You might ask yourself and say, so what does it mean not to give thy strength to a woman? A lot of men do this, and today, modern day, they call these men simps. They giving away their strength to a woman, by various means. You not giving your time and your number one love to the Lord. You putting your woman up there. You get businesses and stuff like that. You kind of giving her access to it, and then when the relationship don't work and y'all break up, what happens? What happened with the whole Kobe Bryant thing? Even though they got back together, but they're talking about taking half. You giving your strength to a woman. Why would you sign a document to marry a woman on paper like Dr. Dre did if you know it's a possibility that she could take half of everything that you work for? Why would you even do that? Right? That's giving thy strength to a woman, and in various different ways, right? Let's keep going. Verse 4, it says, it is not of kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink. So you're supposed to be over a woman. It speaks about that. That's the natural order. The Lord, the Father, the Son, man, woman. That's the order, right? But if you're a man and you putting your woman above you or on the same level as you, you're giving thy strength to a woman. And a lot of men do it and they don't even know they're doing it. They think, no, I ain't doing that. But in reality, they is. Verse 5, it says, lest thou drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted, right? Let me go down. I want to get straight to the point. Verse 10, it says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies, especially today, because it's damn near impossible to find a virtuous woman, right? It says the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. A lot of men, they with a woman just because they got some connections with her. Maybe they built some shit, or maybe they got kids or something like that. But their heart don't really dwell safely with her. They don't they really can't trust her for anything, and every time they do, they end up getting burned. You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's a wicked woman if you can't trust her. It says she would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Are you with a woman and she doing you good, or is she doing you evil, fucking up everything, constantly arguing, constantly out of order, never getting it right? You know what I mean? Fucking up things in your life. Doing what she want to do, sinning against the Lord willfully, right? Not even giving it the effort to try to follow the Lord, which is really just going. You can have an unbelieving wife, but the point of having an unbelieving wife is eventually to get her to convert, to try to get her to convert. Because remember, y'all have to be one together. How do you be one with a person that don't believe in something that's the number one priority in your life? That you believe in, but they don't believe in? How are y'all going to be one? Because she's going to sin, eat pork, get tattoos, smoke weed. You're not. How's that being one and like-minded? Right? So you can't have an unbelieving wife, but the thing is when you have an unbelieving wife is when you meet her. She's unbelieving when you meet her, but the thing is for her to convert and follow the truth, and follow the law, statutes, commandments, and have faith in the Lord. That's the goal. Right? Duh. Why wouldn't it be? Right? Now, if you got a wife and she's not trying to do that, then you're going to have the same thing that happened to Adam. It's going to happen. What happened with Adam and Eve, the same thing will happen to you. Eventually, she's going to deceive you, and she's going to get you to sin against the Lord. She's going to turn your heart away from the Lord. The perfect example is King Solomon. He had unbelieving wives, and they turned his heart away from the Lord. So if that happened with him, and he had the most wisdom and knowledge out of any man except for Yahweh Shai. If you have ears to hear, we already know Yahweh Shai reincarnation. But if that happened to him with the most wisdom and knowledge, what you think gonna happen to you? You playing with fire, right? So same thing that happened with Adam. She gonna turn your heart away from the Lord, and then y'all both gonna get judged for it. So that's why I don't play that shit. She gotta believe. That's your choice, right? But of course, I could get a wife or multiple wives that are unbelieving. Of course, any woman I meet, I'm expecting her to come into the relationship unbelieving. But the goal is yes, I'm going to put some pressure there that, hey, you got to convert. Hey, you got to believe in this. You got to follow this. You got to try to live this lifestyle. Try to the best of your abilities at least. Because I'm not perfect, nobody is. I'm not going to expect you to be perfect, but to the best of your abilities at least. At least show me by some type of works that you got faith in this. That's me, you know. And I had a brother talk shit about me because of that. Because of that requirement. Now you know that that brother is overstepping his boundaries. You should never say anything about what a man wants to do in his private life because there's no sin with me wanting to do that. If you want to go out there and then you talking about a man that don't have a wife, don't have kids, so he really unqualified to talk about anything that has to do with any of that. Just because you come into the truth, man, don't mean that you really qualified to speak on everything. That's where do you think, and then you look up to your elders, right? You say, well, we look up to them because they got wisdom and knowledge. Where do you think that wisdom and knowledge come from? That don't all come from them just reading the Bible. That comes from life experience that they giving you. So you don't have those life experience no matter how much you read the Bible. Don't mean that you really the best qualified to speak on it, man. When it comes to things outside where you giving your opinion on something. You see what I'm saying? But that's just another lesson for another day. But see, the point is like, yes, you could get unbelievable. Most of us, if we meet a wife out there, she's gonna be. Who could find a virtuous woman? You're not gonna find it. You're gonna find an unbelieving wife, but she gotta convert. You know, because she got to become one with you. How does she become one with you if she don't believe? You know, so eventually she got to believe. That's the only way y'all really gonna become one. That's an argument, right? But let's keep going, right? Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. I mean, ox be having wives and shit that calling them gang like it says on this post, etc. You know what I mean? Wicked, wild, talking to them like a nigga, acting like a nigga. You clean up. You clean it up. They don't want to clean up. You cook. Don't want to cook. You should just cook. Or you should clean it. If you see it, you clean it up. She don't want to do none of that, man. So she ain't working willingly with her hands. It says she is like a merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. Right? Nah, I be seeing a lot of dudes out here, they be going to go get the food. Right? They gotta go get the food every day. Get a phone call. Yeah, man, I want some Popeyes today. Can you stop by and get the Popeyes? Now you gotta stop your business doing what you're doing. You gotta run and go get the Popeyes. Sit in, Popeyes line. Sit in there 30 minutes if you go in there, or you gotta go grocery shopping. You gotta go to Walmart and do the grocery shopping. She ain't doing it. It says but you making all the money. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion of her maidens. You got a wife that's getting up, dealing with the kids all throughout the night. That's a good wife. A lot of these wives out here, they just be asleep, and you got to get up and then still go to work. And they tell you some shit like that. Why don't you go get up and get them, huh? It says, she considers a field and buy it. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goes not out by night, because she's up. She layeth her hands on the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches forth her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow of her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings with tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. A lot of these women be with these men in the industry, just for example, but you see them still naked. Like take a Kardashian. It's like, wait, weren't you married? But we see you naked all over the internet. Take a Cardi B. Like, wait, you're married, but we see you naked. So you saying it's okay because you're doing it for money. So everybody can see your private parts because you're doing it for money. Really? That tells me where your honor lays at. It's not in the Lord. It's not really in your husband. It's really for money. It's really you following the man that's on the money, which is Esau, man, the devil. Says, verse 26, she opened her mouth with wisdom. A lot of these women don't open their mouth with wisdom. They sound dumb as fuck with the shit they be saying. It says, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So let's break that down, right? All right, so, because I want to touch back on because it be a lot of shit that be taught And I went along with that stuff too. But when you kind of grow in the truth, you start seeing it and realizing, like, hold up. You see? So a virtuous woman looketh well to the ways of her household. So if you're the head of the household and you follow the Lord, then the ways of your household is supposed to be the ways of the Lord, right? So how can you have a wife that, if she's not following the Lord, because she's an unbelieving wife, then she's not following the ways of her household, which means that she's not a virtuous wife. But your goal is to get your wife to be a virtuous wife, right? You rehearsing the righteous acts, right? So in the kingdom, our women are going to be righteous. So of course you want and it's not just you, it's your household. What type of man would you be if you said, look, I'll follow the Lord, but my kids, I'm gonna get part for them, let them eat pork, you know what I mean? Let them get the hairline and the tattoos and everything, but I'll follow the Lord. No, you're the head of your household. That's the whole reason why the Lord set the order up like that. Because if you taking care of stuff in your household the right way, then your whole household would be following the Lord. They follow you, you follow Yahweh Shai follow Yahweh. That's how the chain goes, man. So yes, you can have an unbeliever wife, but she's supposed to convert because y'all supposed to become one together, and her becoming one with you makes y'all one with the Lord. Your whole family one with the Lord, and it really goes to the greater good of Israel. All Israel's supposed to be that way. We're supposed to be one together as a people, man and woman believing and following the Lord, and then we're one together with the Lord. All right, verse 28. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. You know, a lot of these dudes don't be having nothing to praise about their wife because they just wicked as fuck. So they just hide her and don't never say nothing, don't bring her up or nothing like that. You know, it says many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor and deceitful and beauty is vain, and a lot of men give thy strength to a woman based off her beauty. She looks cute. She got long hair, right? But in reality, she's super wicked. So the beauty is vain. But a woman and then for the image, look, I got this, what I think is a pretty girl on my arm. This is my girl. To everybody else, the image. So they deal with all the wicked shit that she's doing. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she should be praised. But it says the woman that feareth the Lord should be praised. Wait. A woman that feareth the Lord should be praised. That means that she got to believe in the Lord, man. And this is what we all should want. It says, who should find a virtuous woman? We should all want a virtuous woman. So if we get with a woman, we should want her to eventually convert to being a virtuous woman. And a part of that is fearing the Lord, because then she should be praised. It says, give her the fruit of her hand and let her own works praise her in the gates. Works, right? But I ain't going to keep it too long, man. The spirit is still out there. This is the whole thing that was going on with Kevin Samuels, right? The Lord putting the spirit out there that we want our woman to be woman, feminine. Really, if you go into feminine, we want our woman to be virtuous wives. It's just that simple, man. I don't know what's going on, what happened exactly with Kevin Samuels, but that was the spirit of the Lord. But maybe the Lord didn't want him to get credit for it. Maybe the Lord want the men of the Lord, the prophets, to get credit for putting that spirit out there, which is going to happen because the Lord said he gonna get us praise in all lands, So that's just the lesson, pretty much. We want our women to be women. We want our women to be virtuous wives. With that, I'm gonna say salvation to the elect. Shalom.